Hello everyone, welcome to this short video on Wondershare. That's the app we'll be using to set quiz questions for the 2019 R.C.C.G quiz competitions. The app will be used from parish level even up to national level. So if you are able to get a grip on this, I think it's going to help our students perform better at the national and at the national level. Okay, so for those of us who have watched the last video, I want to apologize for the quality of the sound. We had a lot of echo. I think we found a way to fix that now, and that's why I'm putting this video together as much as possible. We'll try to make it short. Okay, so I want to believe that we still have our folders, our quiz materials folders. Here is mine. When you open your quiz folders, you open Wondershare, you open quiz creator free, and then you find yourself having a number of files. Now I would want to say at this point that you should please move your folder, that's the quiz materials folder, sorry, where is it here, your quiz materials folder. You should please move it from your removable device, where removable storage device, whether your USB drive or your phone, whichever device you used in collecting the materials from me the last time. Please move this folder to either your desktop or some other location on your PC. I should also mention that this application does not work on mobile. It doesn't work on it doesn't work on Apple. It only works on Windows PC. So if you intend to use it on the tab, it has to be a tab that is supported. If you intend to use it on another operating system, maybe Apple, no, it won't work. It's not designed for it. Okay, so here we are. We've opened our quiz creator, and these are the files we have there. So you navigate, you find your way to quizcreator.exe. It's an executable file. It is also an application. So what we do is double click on it. When it comes up, please do not go to licensed email. Do not attempt to put in the registration code. Do not click on register. Don't click on get code, because this is a free version. So you click on free trial. And when you're done with that, you come here, create a new quiz. Yep. When you double click, this interface comes up. Yeah. Now, on the left hand side of your screen, let me maximize this. On the left hand side of your screen, you have different types of question formats that you can set. True or false, multiple choice, multiple response, fill in the blank, matching, sequence. That's where we will stop. There is also word bank and click map, short essay, blank page. We do not have the system right now to accommodate these other types of question formats. So we'll maintain from true or false to sequence. Now, we will be using this format to set all of our quizzes, or in all categories. We will also be using this format, that's the fill in the blank. Now we'll be using the fill in the blank for our memory verse and also for our spelling bee. So what I will do now is we will attempt to set questions, one of each format, and then we will also attempt to set one question on memory verse, set another one on spelling bee, just so that we can do this on our own. When we're done, we'll come over to look at the tabs and what they represent, and how they are important to us. Okay, so we'll start with true or false. You double click it, you enter your question. Now, what question do we use? Okay, let's say demons are fallen sorry, demons have fallen angels. That's a statement, and we want the students to answer whether true or false. Now, please note that you can change true or false to yes or no. You can also change it to correct and incorrect. But for the purpose of this, let's just use it as yes, yes, and no. But this is a true or false question. You could leave it as true or false. You could make it yes or no. You could play around with it whichever way. So this is our question. These are the choices. Now I've highlighted the first one as the correct answer. If this is the correct answer, I click here. But of course, this is the correct answer, so I put it there. Now we need to be careful because it is whatever you select that will, be published as the correct answer. Now, when you go down, you see your set feedback and points. What this is saying is if the answer is correct, the student gets a feedback immediately telling him or her that the answer is correct. And if it is otherwise, you also get a feedback saying it is incorrect. Then if you move to the lower right side, you see the points, either 1 for correct or 0 for incorrect. Now you can change this. You can make it 5 for correct, and you can make this 1 for incorrect. But in this case, it's going to be 0 and 1. For every correct answer, you get 1 point. For every incorrect, you get no point. So we're done with yes or no, true or false question. Now let's go to multiple choice question. Multiple choice question is a common, OBJ, common objectives, where you have options A to D, A to E, A to F, and then just one of those options is correct. So I would say, for example, let me just look at some of the questions I have set on my own and see. Okay, multiple choice. Okay, for example, who can give dominion? Dominion. Yeah. Who can give dominion? The answer is God. You can say my dad, Pastor E. Adeboye, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yep. So every other thing remains the same. If it's correct, you get your feedback. If it's incorrect, that's the default setting. So we'll leave it at that. Okay, so we're done with multiple choice. Now multiple response is just like multiple choice, and the only difference is that instead of picking one correct option, you have at least 2 correct options. That's why it is multiple response. Okay, I think I have a multiple response question set already. Multiple response. Do I have multiple response? Okay. Okay, let's see. Why do people fail? Why do people fail? That is from lesson 11, dominion over failure. Why do people fail? Now for multiple response questions, it is usually nice to add an additional instruction below the question or above the question, whichever way. But this time I'm going to put it just below the question, so it's going to be select all correct options. select all correct options. So I might want to, not compulsory, I might want to make that bold. So why do people fail? I'm going to start with lack of planning, adequate resources, procrastination, laziness. Okay, so from this, the correct answers are lack of planning, procrastination, laziness. Of course, if you have adequate resources, I mean, all other factors being equal, you should succeed. Okay, so this is our answer. Now, if we're leaving this as one point, the implication is that if the student fails one of these or does not check one of these, he still has, then he has failed that question. Yep, that is the implication. So we're done with multiple response. Now fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. I have a fill in the blank question. Okay, so let's see. Complete the following affirmation as found in lesson 2. Okay, so I'm going to start with I am an ambassador of Christ, rooted in His Word. Okay, I'm fruitful, I dominate my sphere. Okay, so the last line is what they're supposed to fill in, and what the last line is I do exploits, I glorify the Father, amen. Now when it comes to filling the blank, we need to check our spellings correctly. We need to ensure that our spellings are correct, because it is whatever we enter that the student must enter. Now in this case, because the students will also prepare for memory verse. This is just body of zeal. Because the students will prepare for memory verse and the format of the memory verse is already set. So we might want to help them in this case, and also, help ourselves by adding an instruction that says, okay, maybe notes. Do not use punctuation or abbreviations. So in this case, you can then have something like this. Copy it and paste it. Remove the punctuation marks. Yeah. You might also want to remove the S in exploits. Now I'm not sure they will do that at the national level, but just in case you have someone who removes the S in the exploits, I mean, I think, well, I'm of the opinion that that person should still get his full marks. So what I've done is I have put possible options of what students can, answer students can type in. If they type in any of this, even after we've told them not to use punctuations and abbreviations, if they use punctuations, as they found it in the manual, then they will still, get the full marks for this question. Now, we should also know that for filling the gap, the answers are not case sensitive. The answers are not case sensitive. So I have a mix of uppercase and lowercase in the answers, but if the student decides to answer it, using lowercase or uppercase, he will still get his full mark, provided that the answer is correct. Okay, from there we move to matching. Matching. Okay, so I should have a matching question here. Yes, I have a matching question. So matching is match the following. Growing in wisdom, growing in knowledge, growing in favor with God, growing in favor with men. Okay, so I'm going to list out points that were mentioned under each of these categories. So I would say, yeah, include God in your thinking. I'm arranging them the way they should be answered, so the system will randomize it later. Okay, then no, sorry, I said growing in wisdom. Here is growing in stature, not in knowledge. Yeah, growing in stature. Okay, for stature says pay attention to what you eat. Growing in favor with God. What point? What point? What point? What point? What point? What point? Let's say God is holy. God is holy. And then growing in favor with men. What point do we use? Let's say how to keep good relationships. How to keep good relationships. Okay, so that's that. Then from there we move to sequence. Beautiful sequence. Okay, so sequence should be something like arrange the following in order of happening. Now you might also want to specify what order, could be ascending order, could be in descending order, but in this case now it says in order of happening, so as it happens. So I've specified, so the student is expected to arrange whatever sentences they find listed below in the way they happened. So I'm going to use this example. Lazarus was sick unto death. Jesus was far away when Lazarus died. Jesus visited Mary and Martha. Okay, Jesus went to the tomb of Lazarus. Jesus lifted his voice and Jesus lifted his voice and called Lazarus. Lazarus came forth bound. Okay, so this is the sequence of happening. This is how the students are expected to arrange it. Okay, so I think I've seen a typo here. Jesus went to. Yeah, we need to be careful, especially for the fill in the blank. We need to be careful of our spellings. Okay, so we've set the 6 questions, right? Now we're still going to set the spelling bee and the memory verse. Let's do memory verse first. Memory verse is fill in the blank. Yeah, fill in the blank. For memory verse, we'll use lesson 5 memory verse. So we'll say lesson 5, memory verse is Then, of course, at the beginning on the instruction page, we already will have the instruction for memory verse. But for the purpose of this example, I'm going to put an example of instruction. So we say, do not use punctuation marks or abbreviation, comma, make use of space to separate your words and numbers as in the example below. So the example below is going to be John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That is it. So the acceptable answer for lesson 5 is Luke 5. No, Luke 2:52 space, and Jesus increased in stature. No, he increased in wisdom first. Increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Okay, so that's the acceptable. Now, please let us note that the acceptable answer is from the King James version of the Bible. That is what is in the manual. So we try as much as possible to use whatever is in the manual, except when there is an error. We're expected to correct the error, and of course, we're expected to have taught our teenagers, with the correct thing and not with the error. So, for example, and another version of the Bible would say Luke 2:52, and Jesus waxed stronger in wisdom and stature and found favor before God and man. He could also say, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and he found favor before God and before man. Now we will also notice that favor here is FAVOUR. That is British English. American English, FAVOR is favor. Now, at the national level, they do not consider that, so we're not going to consider that here. If we were to consider that, then we could also have as an acceptable answer favor. But since it's not acceptable, then we're not going to put it that way. Then also, any teenager that writes with or comes here and puts let's see, amperes, yeah, this is wrong. Oh, sorry, that's my 4:30 alarm. Okay, so we take this out. This is the acceptable format. We're done with spelling. No, we're done with memory verse. Let's quickly do what's it called now? Let's quickly do filling. No, let's quickly do what is it now? The memory verse. Okay, we're also going to use fill in the blank. Type in the question. It's go Gota. Now it's spelling bee. The students are supposed to hear a sound, so we're going to add the sound. Click on sound. There are several ways you can add sound. One is for you to import an audio file if you already have it on your system. The other is for you to record it. Now let me record this one now. Gota. I end it here. Then okay, let me play it. Gota. Yeah, did you hear that? That is it. Gota. Okay, it's possible you didn't hear. Actually, it's possible you didn't hear. Well, it's possible you didn't hear, but no issues. In case you didn't hear, what I just did was to record it, used my own voice, recorded it in my own voice. Now we're going to discourage this because of our intonation. I mean, some other person would have would have pronounced this as Golgotha. Someone else would have pronounced it as Golgotha. You know, so we're just going to use text to speech. For text to speech, you click on this, and then you can play it to what exactly you have recorded. Now that was a masculine voice. If I didn't like it, then I can go to advanced setting and then choose another voice here. I prefer to use either of the female voices for some of the words, and for some other words I prefer to use the male voice. You know, it depends on which one I think comes out clearer. So I'm going to use this, the second one, and then click on this again. Do you want to replace? Yeah, I do want to replace it. And then okay, it's done. So I Golgotha. Yeah, I think it's clearer now, so I'm going to go with this. Now I come back here. Don't forget, this is supposed to be the answer. It's also not case sensitive. So if that is the answer, then what is the question? So I just come here and say place of the skull. Now the implication is this: when you're setting spelling bee, whatever answer, whatever word you want the students to spell, you have to, as much as possible, know what the int you give is. If you don't know what it is, you can check online. Yeah, you can check online for the int. For example, if you want the students to spell Maranatha, I need to know what the meaning of Maranatha is. So it's the int that I'll put here for Maranatha, but initially I would have typed Maranatha in here so that I can get the sound. Once I'm done with the sound, then I cut Maranatha away from here, paste it here where we have Golgotha, and then put the meaning or the int of Maranatha here. Now, one other thing that can help us, at least with speed, because I know this is a whole lot of work. Now, imagine just one person doing this for the whole of the province. You can see that it's a whole lot of work. Yeah, that's why we've decided to, split it for different people to do. Now, one thing that can help us fast, especially for the memory verse, is, opening maybe Bible up or a Bible app on your system. When you confirm that the memory verse on the zeal is the same as what you have on your Bible orb or something, you can just copy it and paste it to the app, so it saves you typing time. Yes. Okay, now we're done with this, so click on OK. One thing I did not mention is that as you are working, please remember to save your work. Remember to save your work. Remember to save your work. So I'm going to title this tests. This file that you are saving is actually what you will send to us when you are done with setting your question. So I save it as test. Then I go to quiz properties. Remember I said we would go to the quiz properties to see what's each of those, the function of each of those tabs. Okay, so here we are. Quiz information, quiz title. You can name it anything. Well, not anything. It has to be relevant to what exactly you're doing. So if you are setting 13 to 15 body of zeal, for example, you name it 13 to 15 BOZ, body of zeal. If you're setting book of the Bible, book of the Bible. If you're setting spelling bee, it has to depict the age category and also the particular type of quiz. So I'm going to leave it as test quiz. Display instruction page. Well, I've already worked on this before, so display instruction page, yes, we've highlighted it. We need to put an instruction page, and we have several instructions here. The first set of instruction here, this is an example of instructions for spelling bee. Sorry, did I say spelling bee? From memory verse. which says don't use punctuation marks, don't use abbreviations, answer the question using the format below, use space to separate your words and numbers, then this is, an example of instruction for spelling bee. Listen attentively to the audio as many times as possible. Okay, so that's that. Do we want to display quiz statistics? Yes, we want to. Do we want to collect data of participants? Well, in LP23 we have selected yes, and if you click on search, you realize that there are some parameters here that we have chosen. We have edited this to show area and to show zone. If you want to edit it, at your own level to show maybe parish and area, you can also do that. So if I do this now, by the time you open it again, you won't find area and zone. What you find is parish and area. But of course, what we want is okay, let's leave it as parish and area. So that's that. Then we go to quiz settings. What's the pass rate you want? We want 80%. You could change it to 90, you could change it to 100, you could change it to 50, whichever case. But we will leave it at 80%. Time limit. Do you want to enable time limit? Yes, we do. We want to enable time limit. Then we go look at options. End quiz after 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes is 240 seconds. And we have 8 questions here. So 240 over 8. That means each teenager has 30 seconds to answer the quiz. Each quiz question. Now the thing is this: we're not just looking at accuracy of the answers, we're also looking at speed. It's speed and accuracy. So it depends on not just how well you know the questions, but also how fast you can answer them. Then there's also an option for setting time limit for each question. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to set time limit for the whole quiz. Okay. Then random question before publishing. Yes, we want to randomize the questions. Random, how many questions? We have set 8, so we're going to put 8 here. So then, do we want to submit one question at a time? Yes. Or do we want to submit all at once? No, we want to submit all one question at a time. That's why you see that this is highlighted. Then there are other options here. Show correct answers, allow user, one user. We highlight all that because that's what we want. Then quiz results. Yes, we want the result to be shown according to the result, not despite the result. If we click on despite the result, then we will have something like this: thank you for taking the quiz. But we want it to be according to the result. Congratulations, you passed. You tried. God bless you. If the person did not meet up to the 80%, then all this too. We have highlighted the buttons. We want to believe that the buttons will also be highlighted when you're working on this. Then the question settings. The positive points is set to 1. So if the student gets the question correct, he gets the answer correct, he gets 1 point. If it doesn't, he has 0 point. Do we want to shuffle the answers? Yes, we want to shuffle the answers, and we also want to shuffle the questions. The implication is that if 2 people are sitting beside each other for whatever reason, and they can see each other's systems, even if they are writing the same category, their questions will not be the same. And even if the questions, they get to the point where the questions are the same, the options cannot be the same. Okay, then others is for password protection. Do we want password? Yes, we want password. So I'm going to input the password. Sorry, you're not going to be able to see the password, but I'm just going to make it test quiz. Okay, so I think we're done with that. Now, player template. I think we should just leave the player template. We should not do anything on it. This is how the template is even at national level, so there's no point in changing the template for ourselves. Okay, I'm gonna close that. Then preview. Now, before we publish, we have the opportunity to see what we have done. So I'm gonna click on preview and wait for it to come up. Okay, so I think it's coming up beautiful. So that's it. Yeah, so this is the first page that the quiz taker will see. This is not yet the instruction page, but at least the quiz taker will see this as the first page. He has to enter a password. The reason why we have to enter a password is so that nobody has undue advantage or unfair advantage, whereby he's able to start one part before the other person, and then is more how do I put it, more relaxed while others are rushing. But of course, the quiz is timed. Password for this is test quiz. I said test quiz. Okay, I hope test quiz. Beautiful. So first name we have Rachel. Last name we have Johnson. Parish, city of greatness, area 22. So we start. This is the instruction page. This just have reset it, when we were trying to edit the quiz properties. So okay, so the time starts counting now. Now you will notice that the questions have become randomized. The answers have also become randomized. The first question we set was demons are fallen angels, true or false? But what we have here is arrange the following in order of happening, which is the number 6 question. So someone else opening this might have number 8 as the first question. So let's just attempt to answer this and see how well we will do. So Lazarus was sick unto death at first. Jesus was far away when Lazarus died. Jesus visited Mary and Martha. Jesus went to the tomb of Lazarus. Jesus lifted his voice. Lazarus came forth bound. Okay, so yeah, correct. Then lesson 5 memory verse is, okay, so I said it's not case sensitive, so I'm going to mix the cases in this. Luke space 2 space 52. So, and Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor before God. No, it's with God and man. And Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. So I submit, and it's correct. So you can see that it's not case sensitive. Okay, so this is matching. Match the following: growing in favor with men. Okay, growing in wisdom, growing in stature, and growing in favor with God. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so demons are fallen angels, yes or no? Yes. Correct.
Golgotha.
So that's the spelling bee question. You can play it again.
Golgotha.
Okay, so Golgotha. It's also not case sensitive. Why do people feel? Procrastination, lack of planning, laziness. Okay. 7. So we're going to fill this just so we can see what happens. So it says incorrect, and then it shows the correct answers, the correct options. I do exploit, I glorify the Father. Amen. Okay, so this is the last one. Who can give dominion? Multiple choice. Choose God, and I submit. And okay, so there's the summary results page. There were 8 questions. The maximum question is 8. Passing rate is 80, which is 6.4. We scored 7 and did it in 3 minutes and 4 seconds. The message is congratulations, you passed. Congratulations, you passed. So that's that. Then at this point, the teacher is called to record not just the score, but the time elapsed. Now, don't forget to always save whatever you have done. anything you do, just ensure you save. Then at this point, you have set your question, but it is not ready yet for your students, to take as an exam. So you publish it. Go to cd/exe, whatever name you publish it as much as possible. Let it be the same name that you saved it as, the WQC file. Let it be the same name. So you'll also see the location. Please note the location so that you do not start looking for the quiz. Okay, so publish. The file has already existed. You want to replace it? Yes, we want to replace it. So it's publishing. It is this published file that you will, administer as a test for your teenagers. What you are sending to us is not this published file. Let's open the folder. What you are sending to us is not this testquiz.exe. No, this is what you are giving to your teenagers as their, as their quiz. Now, what you are sending to us is this test.wqc. That's what you are sending to us, and you can send it on WhatsApp. See, it's 26 kilobytes, so you can send it to us on WhatsApp. Yes, so I'm gonna close this. And I think we are done with this. If we have further questions, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you richly.